Whether you're a seasoned professional looking to stay ahead of your colleagues or a fresh-faced newbie just starting out in the corporate world, understanding the language spoken in the office, in the workplace is essential. More often than not, the vocabulary and phrases used in a corporate setting, in a business environment, are just synonyms and fancy ways of saying something else. But to enable you to communicate effectively, contribute meaningfully, and ultimately climb the ladder of success, it is important that you have an understanding of what these words and phrases mean and potentially add them to your own vocabulary list so you can use them successfully and effectively. I am here to make sure that your language level is not holding you back professionally. Hi, my name is Catherine. I'm a business English teacher, and I work with intermediate to advanced level students. So if you are trying to improve your English, are starting a new job that requires you to speak English, or just want to improve your general understanding on Zoom calls, I highly recommend subscribing. My first corporate jargon video was received very well by all of you. I got lots of feedback, lots of people reaching out, letting me know that it was very helpful. So here is part 2 of corporate jargon in the workplace. Or in other words, phrases and vocabulary that you will often hear in meetings, the office, a business situation, a corporate setting. Adding some of these to your vocabulary can make you sound more professional, can be very beneficial in helping you progress in your career and help you feel confident amongst your colleagues. One last thing to mention before we start. I have just finished creating an Introduction to Business English course. It's a self-study course, so you download the course. There's lots of helpful information there for you. And every couple of units, there is an exam, a short test to check your understanding. I've worked very hard on this, and I personally think it's full of fantastic content, not just from my English language experience, but my background in a corporate environment. And it gives a great overview of what to expect when you start working with the English language. I am currently offering the first 10 people to purchase and download this course a 50% discount. So if you want 50% off an Introduction to Business English, use the code NEW10, NEW10 on my website to purchase this course. So more importantly, and the reason why you're here, it's time to level up your business vocabulary. So grab your pens, paper, maybe a cup of coffee or a tea if you don't drink caffeine, and let's get started. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments and feel free to make any examples in the comments as well. Our first vocabulary today is paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. Now, this is often pronounced wrong because of the G. It looks like it should be paradigm, but it is paradigm shift. And this just means a fundamental change. So a huge change in the way something is done or understood. It's a big change. Maybe something has been done the same way for 20 years and nobody has ever questioned it. And somebody finds an easier, quicker, more efficient way of doing it. That would be a paradigm shift in the way that that task is conducted. So, for example, in the world of technology, the introduction of cloud computing led to a paradigm shift in the business world. Companies shifted from investing in individual hardware, software, and moved to more scalable. We will go over the meaning of scalable later in the video. Easy to access services. So the cloud, think of the cloud where you save all your information or your data. This created a huge shift in the way we save our data. The rise of e-commerce platforms like Amazon resulted in a paradigm shift in the retail sector. Traditional stores had to adapt their business models to keep up with Amazon. So it created a huge shift, a big difference, something dramatically changed. So you can see it as a synonym for dramatically. Something has not just changed, it's dramatically changed. It is therefore a paradigm shift. Disruptive, disruptive. Now, I think you have an idea of what the word disruptive means. To disrupt is to interrupt or stop a presentation or have an action that causes something to not continue. So, for example, disruptive children could be children that talk throughout a movie or run around during a movie, or when their parents are trying to communicate with somebody else, the children are singing and crying and screaming. And that's quite normal for children. But if we're using disruptive in a business English context, what we mean is actually something positive. If something disrupts a market, disrupts an industry, disrupts a sector, is disruptive. What it means is it completely changes an industry or market or sector. Something they do disrupts how we've done it before. So it links quite nicely with the paradigm shift because they have the same impact. So a fantastic example is the recent launch of ChatGPT. AI has been around for a long time, but normal people, average people don't use it. Or we're not aware that we use it at least. But ChatGPT disrupted what we know. And now every average person, every normal person, everyone that has a job that involves some form of emailing or contacting or researching uses ChatGPT. They may use it a small amount, they may use it a large amount, but it's disrupted the way we search for things, the way we research things. We no longer say Google it, we say ask ChatGPT. Streamline. Streamline. To streamline comes from sailing and water sports and also any other type of sport that needs you to move fast. So a streamlined boat is a boat that is very smooth and isn't being weighed down by anything. It can move quickly and smoothly through the water. In sports, something that is streamlined is again something that can move quickly and accurately. A system being streamlined or a process being streamlined, business English version of streamline, is for something to be efficient and effective. Often a business, if it's been doing something the same way for a long time, will hire a consultant to come and show them how they could streamline their business. I'll give you an example from one of my students. My student is the CEO of a very well-known company. She went to visit kitchens that were owned by this company, and the kitchens were using a very old-fashioned way of marking boxes, what was inside the boxes. And she introduced a faster, quicker, more automated way, which streamlined the process because it saved 3 or 4 minutes every time a delivery came in. Instead of writing out a ticket, they just scanned it and stuck the ticket on the front. So she streamlined this process to make something easier, more efficient, faster. Agile. Now, people in the corporate environment love to use the word agile. Either they refer to their employees as agile or the environment as being agile, and it just means you can adapt quickly to changing circumstances or requirements. This is an agile environment, would mean it changes quickly, it adapts quickly. Our team is agile. They change quickly, they adapt quickly. Optimize. Now, to optimize is to make the best or most effective use of the resources or capabilities or team. So to optimize something is to get the most out of it, do it in the best way. Let's say, for example, you have a 40-hour working week and you want to optimize your time. What you mean by that is trying to achieve as much as possible in those 40 hours so you don't have to do overtime. Or to optimize a team is to use members of the team in different areas that suit them to make sure you are using the best resources, the most effective way of using your resources. In this case, the resources being your team. It's almost like if I gave you $100 and I told you to start a business with that $100. Someone that went out and bought $100 worth of product, that's fine, you can sell that product. But someone that used that $100 to hire someone else, maybe, that has more experience to tell them how to make a successful business, you could say they are optimizing that opportunity. They are optimizing that $100 I have given them, because they are getting more experience, more knowledge than the person that just went out and bought product. Now, I'm not saying either of these is the right or wrong way to start a business. I'm just saying this is an example of optimization, trying to find the best option for the resources, for the team, for yourself. Scalable. Now, I've already used the word scalable previously, and scalable just refers to a business or a product or technology that has the ability to grow. I actually think I've talked about this in another video, so I'm going to only briefly go over this. Scalability, or something being scalable, just means it has the opportunity to grow, get bigger, increase. For example, if you are a graphic designer and you can only design one design a day, you cannot grow unless you hire other people. Hiring other people would give you scalability. But doing everything by yourself, you can't magic more days into the year. So you cannot get bigger than what you are already doing. Transparent. The meaning of transparent refers to light being able to be seen through an object or a fabric. So a transparent fabric is something you can see through. For example, the jacket I'm wearing, you can actually see through the jacket. So this would be a transparent fabric. You can see light through it. But when we're using transparent in a business sense, what we are saying is there's nothing hidden. We're not hiding anything from you. We have no secrets. Businesses that are transparent in their pricing provide clear and easily understandable information about the costs of their products. So a business that is transparent about its pricing, the customer can see exactly what they're paying for. There's no hidden costs. Or transparent decision making means we're not keeping anything a secret. We're discussing out loud why we've come to that decision. You often hear this phrase, we're going to be transparent with you. Maybe if you're unsuccessful in a job or a promotion, the manager might say, we want to be transparent with you. Your interview was fantastic. You answered all the questions exactly as we wanted, but unfortunately, the business is not making as much money as it would like to this year, so we cannot hire you at this time. We want to be honest. You can use it as a synonym for honest. No secrets. We're not hiding anything. Our next one is back burner. Back burner. Now, you will often hear this in the sentence, let's put that on the back burner. To put something on the back burner means it's not a high priority. It's not on the front burner. And the burner could be a fire, it could be the top of an oven, a stove where you cook your food. And the back is typically not as important, not as high of a priority as the front. So let's put that on the back burner means don't focus on that yet, let's focus on this. Vision. You may already know this word as it means sight, to see, to have an idea, to see something in front of you. When we use vision in a business sense, it's exactly the same. He had a vision. There is a great vision. The client has a vision of what they want to see. We need to meet that vision. It just means something they imagine, something they see, the result that they expect at the end. And our last vocabulary is dynamic. Dynamic. Now, dynamic is very similar to some of the words we went over in the first corporate jargon, similar to diversify, similar to synergy. You might use all of these in a very similar way in a sentence, because dynamic means to change something in a way that is positive. It changes the environment somehow. It changes the market. A dynamic product is something that everyone wants but has never seen before. Or you introduce a new product to people that they didn't know they needed, but now everyone needs it. It's changing something in a positive way. So disruptive, as we went over, of course, also means change, but disruptive can be positive and negative. Dynamic is always a positive change. We'll now move on to our phrases or idioms, and I have 10 for you here. The first one is think outside the box. I'm sure you've heard this. This is one of the first ones that people go over when they cover idioms with their students, is to think differently or creatively. We have a new product and we really need to think outside the box about how we are going to market this, about how we are going to sell this to our customer. Think differently to how we have been. To get the ball rolling, get the ball rolling. Now, I did go over this in a workplace idioms video, which you can also check out. But when you push a ball down a hill, it doesn't stop rolling. So to get the ball rolling is to start a project or initiative. It's that initial stage, that initial push that you need. I'm going to start now. I'm getting the ball rolling. Get back on track. Get back on track. This is often used in meetings. Let's get back on track. To get back on track, let's go to slide 7. It means to return to the original discussion or focus. So if you remember last time I talked about circle back, get back on track is used in the same way. Everyone started talking about a different topic, a different subject, and you want them to return to the topic, to the subject that you want them to focus on. I'm glad everyone had a fantastic weekend. Let's get back on track and discuss how we are going to tackle this week's problems. Brainstorm. Brainstorm sounds quite scary, possibly like a medical condition, but brainstorm just means to generate ideas or solutions through group discussion. So everyone's throwing out ideas, discussing them, why that idea wouldn't work, why this idea would work better. We are using everyone's knowledge and experience together to find a solution, a fix to our problem. I was brainstorming with my team the other day and we came up with a fantastic solution for cost cutting. To follow up, this is a phrasal verb that is used all the time in emails. This is just to provide or seek, find further information than you already had. And you only use this when you've already discussed that topic with someone. So if this is the first time talking about this topic with someone, you would never say follow up. But if you've already sent an email to someone and they haven't replied or they haven't given you enough information, you can say, I'm just following up, or to follow up, I would like to know X, Y, and Z. Or maybe you're asked, can you follow up with Catherine about her availability for lessons this week? Bring everyone up to speed. Managers and team leaders love using this at the beginning of a meeting, or at the end they will say, now that everyone is up to speed. And all it means is to fill everyone in on recent developments, any updates, any changes. I've called this meeting today to bring everyone up to speed on client A's thoughts and feelings about how we continue with this project. After the meeting with the client on Friday, I want to bring everyone up to speed on how they are feeling. Please don't ask any questions about the exhibition next week. I will bring you all up to speed in the meeting this afternoon. So to fill everyone in, to tell everyone, to update them, give them more information, take the lead. Now, maybe you've been asked at work to take the lead on a project, and that is fantastic. If you have, congratulations, because of course, take the lead means to take more responsibility or control in a situation. And typically it is in a situation you previously would not have had control in. So for example, as an English teacher, I have control in all my lessons because that's my job, to control the lesson, control the thought processes of my students and lead them where I need them to go. But if I said to you as a student, today I want you to take the lead, ask me questions, tell me grammar rules. What I'm saying is I'm giving you control now. I'm giving you responsibility now. To take the lead on something is to gain responsibility or control of something you previously did not have responsibility or control for. Get on the same page, or to be on the same page. A lot of people say we need to be on the same page. Let's get on the same page. And what this means is there is an understanding or agreement that everyone feels the same way, thinks the same way, has the same plan of action, has the same strategy. We are all on the same page of a book, and we are all heading in the right direction. We don't have one person at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end. We are all on exactly the same page, and we are all following exactly the same plan. You can use this with your team. You could say, I want to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Please email me with where you are in your part of the project, your part of the task. Or in a meeting, I've spoken to my team and we're all on the same page. We all agree that X, Y, Z. We all agree that we are all on the same page. The opposite of this is if people are disagreeing in your team or in a meeting, you can say, it feels like we are not on the same page. What can we do to make sure we move forwards on the same page? What can we do to fix this and make sure we go ahead all with the same idea, all with the same solution, strategy, plan, task, actions? Cut to the chase. Now, this would be rude if you said it to somebody else. If I was talking and you said to me, cut to the chase, Catherine, that's very rude, because what it means is get to the main point, get to the important details. So what you are telling me by asking, can you cut to the chase, is what you are saying is not important, is not the main point. I don't care. I want the main information. It's quite rude. However, you can use it to describe yourself, to talk about yourself, to introduce a topic yourself. I'm going to cut to the chase and let you know that client A pulled out, decided not to go ahead. I'm going to cut to the chase and tell you that our sales figures were not what we expected last year. I'm going to cut to the chase and tell you we have 15 refunds today. I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to get to the main point, the important details, information I need you to know. And our last one today to wrap up is to conclude or finish a discussion or meeting. Let's wrap this up here. Can we wrap up? I have a meeting immediately after this one. I need to wrap up here. I've got a client I need to meet. Okay, let's wrap up today. Everybody go around and give one key point that you've taken from this lesson, from this meeting, from this agreement. To wrap up, to end something. It's like a summary of. And I believe wrap up is in one of my phrasal verb videos as well. So I highly recommend, if you are interested in learning business English, go and watch all of the videos in my business English playlist, because there is so much information there to help you improve, help you understand your colleagues. I try and give as much information as I can from an English language point of view, but also as someone that used to work in a corporate environment. I used to work in marketing, and we would use these words all the time in weekly meetings, monthly meetings, daily meetings sometimes. So let me know in the comments if this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to send to a friend. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget you can get 50% off my Introduction to Business English self-study course. Thank you for being here and supporting, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.